Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. It is time for some trans memes, because we love the trans memes. So, let's go. Before we get started though, you know the drill. Go get hydrated. Grab some tea, or some water, or whatever else you like to drink. And then we'll get back. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Hello, sweet child. What would you like for the holidays this year? Freaking pussy would be nice. Yeah, listen, surgery's expensive, so if you have a fairy godmother, go ask her. You know, it's gonna be cheaper, it's gonna be quicker, it's probably gonna be way less exhausting and painful, so go ask your fairy godmother. The idea that trans people are part of some international conspiracy is ridiculous, because have you seen trans Twitter? You can't even agree if a random streamer is good or not. Yeah, do they actually think a group of 90% bottoms is capable of taking over anything? Is that accurate? Like, normally, I always question whether, like, certain percentages people throw out are accurate. But in this case, I'm not nearly as interested if it's actually true because, honestly, who cares, right? But I think you might have a point. Trans people have the hardest time agreeing on anything. Other than we want to be treated like people and not get shot, you know? Okay, Blaha, you're on about to protect trans kids. Can you handle that? I think Blaha can handle that. He's on it with his little knife. How is this so threatening, but yet so adorable? It is so cute. Oh my god. Realistic transition goals. Nah. I want to look like her. Again, I still haven't watched Owl House. Will I get around to watching Owl House? Maybe. I hope so. But it's not happened yet. Oh well. Oh please. I'm a trans woman in Gotham. Of course I have a weapon. What? Is this... Is Batgirl? Is this an official, like, DC comic? Or did someone else just draw it? Because I still want to read it. She looks really cool. And I kind of want to see her smash some transphobes with that bat. I don't normally condone violence, but... well, sometimes, you know? But I just don't know if I see myself with a testosterone-based body. You get pretty buff forearms. Yeah, I don't know if I'm into that. Honestly. No, I think, because I'm very much not tall, I think looking too buff, for me personally, would look weird, like, on me. But as a trans woman, or generally, like, as a trans person, when people, like, don't know or try to convince you to be, like, happy as the gender you were born, it always kind of ends like that. It's like, they say things that, because, like, they think having buff forearms or something is really sexy, right? And they think it's, like, a nice thing to have or whatever, I don't know. And you're just there like, yeah, I don't vibe with that. And it's especially funny if you're just trying not to out yourself to a certain group of people, and then situations like these happen. Whoops. Trans or die. Now this one I just included because it's kinda cute. It's a snake. I like snakes. But yes. Well, you don't actually have to be trans yourself. You just have to be not a dickhead to trans people. You know? 17-year-old NASA intern discovers a new planet on his third day. The 17-year-old, every other scientist at NASA, like, god damn it. I don't get to name the planet. My brother had the idea of calling it Wolftopia, but I think TOI 1338b is sufficient. King, I think it's not sufficient at all. Wolftopia bust. Also, Wolftopia is gorgeous, by the way. Okay, Wolftopia is nearly the size of Saturn and orbits 2 stars that closely orbit each other. But is it inhabitable for humans? Because I think we have a new wish travel destination, you know? So Are we gonna die or no? Them. Are you excited for facial feminization surgery? Me. Yes. I'm not gonna tear my face off right now. I'm not gonna do it. But this is why we let surgeons do it. It probably kind of looks the same actually. Yeah, nah, it's probably gonna look the exact same. Only they also, graphic warning I guess, also kind of break your bones in a way to kind of like reshape them obviously. I guess someone is definitely excited and I think that's fair. Not a meme, but my fiance got me a blaha today. Oh yes. Oh yes. I would say marry him, but you're already doing it. Or her. I'm not sure. Whatever, you're already marrying them. And I think that's fair. How many times do I have to say it? I'm not trying to pass or transition for you or anybody else. I'm doing it for me. Like, honestly, I don't give people tips on passing unless they would like specifically ask me, right? Like, I wouldn't go around to random trans people and be like, oh, you know, you could improve your passing. Like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Honestly, if you care and you want to pass and you want tips to see if I know things or tips you maybe haven't heard of, that's cool. But don't go around assuming everybody wants to pass. And don't go around assuming that they're doing it for you or for anyone else. Like, sure, it's nice to get gendered correctly, but it's also very nice and very good to feel comfortable in your own skin. And if passing helps you do that, then you're literally just not doing it for anyone else. What are you doing? Kamat is trans to my best friend. Yes. He calls me a good girl and helps me look for girl clothes. You're melting a little bit, honey. You're just melting. I hope you're okay. I hope he like swooped you up from the floor and put you back together after melting you, you know? Now again, I know not really memes, but trans women are women, trans men are men, non-binary people are non-binary, and trans rights are human rights. Just as a subtle reminder, because some people manage to forget it constantly, or just ignore it on purpose, which is just worse. The 7 deadly sins as trans people. Okay, let's go. Gender pride. I'm trans. That's cool as hell. Gender wrath. Either you give me gender neutral bathrooms or I give you a lobotomy. Gender envy. I like your vibes in the gender sense. Give them to me. Gender greed. I have 72 genders and 13 sets of pronouns due to I want to. Gender sloth. Gender? I gave up on that ages ago. Too much effort. Gender gluttony. I'm a different gender every day. I change mine like coffee filters. Gender lust. My gender is that I'm sexy. Honestly, I think we've been over this before. Trans people and non-binary people are just kind of sexy. Does that mean you identify as sexy? Maybe. Maybe. You know? But honestly, this is just funny. And honestly, it's cute. I mean, look at this. The 7 deadly gender sins. It's just cute. Come on. Ah yes, we have another one of these. Realistic transition goals? No, we don't want it. That's boring. But Robin from Stranger Things. Yes. Yes. Honestly, she's very cool. Like, she's a really cool character. She's really pretty. And we stan Robin on this channel. We also have one for non-binary people, because realistic transition goals? No. I want to look like this dragon. I thought dragons were kind of an ace thing. Listen, I'm all for sharing, actually, so if non-binary people want dragons too, we can share. But this dragon, or being a dragon in general, is honestly pretty fair. You know, it's kind of practical. You can just fly everywhere. You can roast people who annoy you in more ways than one. I think it's fair. Yeah, they may be cool now, but you get tired of having them soon. I don't know, I've had them for a couple years and they're still pretty awesome. Yeah, well, you're gonna carry that weight. Really, you're gonna go for a pun? Anyways. Yes, that is the general idea. Stop touching them. No. Trans-incidental. I have more comics of hers in this. And honestly, I think that's fair because the art is really cool. And again, trying to tell trans people, or like trying to either convince them not to transition or try to give them shit during that transition, because it's like, yeah, boobs can be annoying. Like a lot of women find their boobs annoying, right? Like especially if you have bigger boobs, they kind of get in the way sometimes, or you get back pain. Sure, but trying to rain on someone else's parade and be like, are you sure you want them? Like, just be happy without, or just be happy you don't grow a beard yet. Like, it's so annoying to shave every day. It's like, dude, I know it's annoying to shave every day. I don't even shave every day. But telling someone who wants to start tea and is really looking forward to certain things that they shouldn't be excited for it is such a dumbass move. Come on. Ah yes, we have a story review. I haven't actually read this one yet, but settle in, I guess. This store is highly inappropriate for such individual families. I walked into the store and there was a man acting like a woman. What is this spacing? With makeup on and pink earrings. It truly disturbed me. I am very confusing what Target Vision is, but this is not a family appropriate store. I can care less about what they prefer. I feel like Target needs to rethink their agenda because the store is becoming very inappropriate for families, especially children. I shop at Target a lot and I like Target, but it's becoming unapproachable and very disturbing. And I would never bring my children into the store because of this matter. We have daughters and sons looking at individuals that they know are supposed to be either a man or a woman, but a man half-dressed as a woman. I think it's really inappropriate, and regardless of what they may feel, it's not helping the community. It's really putting a big damper on the community as well as Target, and this is not right. It should not be acceptable and not part of uniform. If you're going to do things as such, it should be done at home, not in a workplace. It truly makes me feel very uncomfortable as a woman and unsafe man walking around as a woman. This is insulting and disrespectful. Oh wow, we finally found punctuation. I'm not sure if this Target let men in their women bathroom. I pray not, but I think this may be family's last day at establishment. I honestly think that needs to be a rule in place for the welfare and safety of all individuals. Men need to dress appropriately. If you're a man, you should not be walking around with makeup on or earrings. And the same goes to the women who are to be role models for a young generation. But how are we to do that when a big corporation that many families go to, when they go home with their children, they have to explain to their children that they have seen. And now the children are trying to figure out what's going on, and I don't think it's fair to anyone that these things are being pushed on to families. This is not family orientated and should not be accepted. A workplace needs to be a workplace, and it should not make individuals feel uncomfortable when they walk into a place that they shop at. I'm not going to be sorry for what I'm saying, because I'm saying it's true, and I don't care what the people feel. This is super ridiculous. If this is the case, then Target needs to just not also incorporate Christian assets to their store, because it's deceiving and inappropriate. That's a long rant for I hate trans people. That's a lot of words. And no punctuation. My god. Anyways. What? First of all, kids literally don't give a shit. Kids literally don't give a shit. They move on so quickly. Sure, at first they might wonder, it's like, I can't tell if this is a man or a woman, because that's what you put into the heads, that everyone has to be like strictly masculine and strictly feminine, because that's what women and men are supposed to be, right? But then they see a toy and they immediately move on, like they immediately forgot what even happened. So maybe don't forget, but they don't care, because they found something more interesting. And honestly, it might be a good approach. You should kind of get back to that, because honestly, you go to the store to shop. What do you care what the cashier is wearing? As long as they are wearing something appropriate. Like they're wearing their work uniform, right? Target has like t-shirts and everything. All body parts are covered that should be. What do you care if they wear makeup or earrings? And also, love the misgendering. Love the ignoring or maybe this person is just non-binary and isn't trying to look like completely masculine or completely feminine. But really, if you don't want to go to Target anymore, I don't think Target gives a shit. Like, especially a store this big is really not gonna care if you're trying to boycott them by not going anymore. Because honestly, they don't care. They're glad they have workers, because a lot of places are understaffed. Target's probably still understaffed and still underpaid, but that's another topic. But why do you care so much? Oh my god. Moving on to more lighthearted stuff again. You're either a reptile trans guy or a rat trans guy. There is no in between. Well, it's a good thing I'm non-binary because I pick both. Rats are really cute, but so are reptiles. Like, honestly, I couldn't pick. I really couldn't pick. Ah yes, the 3 genders: female, male, and friend. This is actually really cute. That's kind of cute. Come on. That's fair. Dysphoria is a monster that can live in mirrors, but euphoria is one that can live in skirt pockets. I think this is also from Transincidental. The little monster in the skirt pocket is so cute. It's so cute. But also, I hate Dysphoria, obviously. But the way she drew it is still so cool. It looks like space. It's really cool. I really like it. I still don't want to see it when I look in the mirror. You know, menstrual products with for men packaging. The wrappers are black or gunmetal, and the boxes have like berries and shit on them. Manly products for your manhood. For men. Men? Does your manhood leak blood every month? Do you spend 3 to 10 days of the month shedding the blood of your defeated enemy? Try our menstrual products. Pads and tampons for the manliest time of the month. For men! Honestly, as much as I hate gender products, this one, or products like these, I would love. Because A, for a lot of trans guys, it's generally very dysphoric to have your period. And then having to buy like pads or tampons or whatever you use with like flowers on them. And of course it's ridiculous, like who gives a shit, men can like flowers too, but it always just like so feminine that it can give you a lot of dysphoria, especially when you're already on your period. But these products would, apart from making trans people feel more comfortable with their period, which is a great thing on its own, would also very much upset transphobes. You'd be super triggered that, oh no, people who menstruate are definitely women. Like, no other people menstruate. That's just ridiculous. You should make it for men. And I can just imagine them being so upset. Like, imagine if someone added this to Target, and the woman from a few posts ago walked past the person she thinks is a man dressed as a woman into the aisle for like tampons and stuff to pick up some tampons or whatever. And then she sees these packagings. Oh my god, imagine. The rant would be like 3 pages longer. I couldn't read it for shit because she uses no punctuation. I think it'd be ridiculous, and I'm here for it. Someone please make these. Come on. Reconnecting with 2 of your friends after coming out. Actually starting a conversation because you've isolated for so long and don't want to burn them with your presence. Ah yes. Why are we all so great and secure that we feel like a burden to other people sometimes? Because I feel like way too many people feel like that. But like, especially if you haven't talked for so long, it can just be so awkward to start talking to them again. It can just be so awkward because you don't know what to say. But once you start talking to them, it's usually like nothing even happened. Like, it's usually like it's like you've been talking every day. Like, it doesn't really matter if you're really friends. But I hope it goes well. Good luck to anyone who wants to, you know, go talk to them. And if they make you feel like you're a burden, drop them. I know it can be sad, because obviously they were your friends, but if they treat you like that, they don't really deserve to be called friend anymore, you know? Oh, another transincidental one. Why Why are you still wearing that mask? You're vaccinated, aren't you? Well, aside from the fact that the pandemic is still happening, regardless of my vaccination, I'm trans and I haven't shaved recently. Oh. Yeah, honestly, if someone wants to wear masks, why would you be weird about it? You don't know what's going on with them. You know, maybe they just have like a really bad cold and don't want to pass it on. Maybe they just have anxiety and feel safer with the mask on, because otherwise they're worried they're gonna catch something. Maybe they just haven't shaved. Maybe they just want to be respectful to other people because they don't know if they have COVID, without actually getting sick and accidentally pass it on to other people who might get really sick from it. Maybe you should just mind your own business. But also, this green mask is really cute. When your previously closest friend congratulates you by your chosen name and says he's proud of you for standing up and being who I am, and I always have his friendship and support. Okay, I'm sorry, I was a little bit confused by the switching from you to I. But either way, this is really cute. This is what friends should be doing. And I hope he is still your closest friend, because that's close friend material right there. Honestly, supporting each other for being who you are is something friends should do. You know? And I'm really happy for you, and I'm glad you're happy, and you have someone to support you. So, amazing. Good news. Wow. I'm almost caught off guard by something being wholesome on this channel. You wear a bra to bed because it's gender affirming. I wear a bra to bed because my nipples are too sore for open fabric. Take the E and we can be the same. Well, honestly, but wouldn't it be really uncomfortable? I don't know. I hated bras, which may be a dysphoria thing, and it may just be because bras are generally just kind of uncomfortable. But honestly, as long as it feels good to you, or it's the more comfortable option, go do it. And honestly, I think if trans people, or like most trans people, were given the choice, they would definitely start taking hormones. You know, like some people don't want to transition medically, which is cool, right? It's your choice, you don't have to, obviously. But some people just question if they want to or not for a while because they're not sure if they want to medically transition or not, which is also cool. But like a lot of trans people, and I would definitely say the majority, wants to medically transition and wants to go on hormones. So if you give them the choice, they're gonna take the E to become like you. My spouse, who measured my cup size between A and B. What she got there? Me, still thinking I have AAs. My B cup bra with minimal space left. Smoothie. But isn't that a good thing? I don't know. It depends on your goals, obviously, but if you want bigger boobs, you're getting there. Good to see E working for you. Okay, that was actually the last post for today. So I'm gonna say a few finishing notes once again. A, if you're trans, I hope you find people, well, queer in general, I guess, but if you find people to support you, that's great. Honestly, we should all have people who support you and use the right pronouns and the right name, and don't make you feel weird if you like think you like a name and like kind of want to try it out, just to see how it feels, like if it feels right, because you don't want to end up changing a name and then not liking it. So honestly, it's better to change it again if you think you might get annoyed of it long term, and kind of see what works best for you, and like uses the right pronouns for you and doesn't make you feel weird for it, and like maybe if you're not out to certain people, kind of helps you hide some things at their place or something. Like if you're not out to your parents, keeping like clothes or something that are gender affirming to you at someone else's place might be a cool thing. And to other trans people who want to medically transition, I hope you can. I hope especially if you're in the US, I hope you can pay for it. And I generally wish all queer people on this channel, if you're not queer and watching this, fine. You seem really cool. You can have some happiness too, right? No, but I wish you all a very nice rest of your week. I don't even know which day this is coming out because I'm great at remembering things, but I hope you have a nice weekend. I hope your week wasn't too hard, and I hope you stayed hydrated. Especially if you're trans and binding. Go get hydrated, and go take a binder break. Listen, don't wear it for too long. Just don't do it, you know? Go get hydrated, maybe stretch a little bit, and then I'll be back in 3 days to remind you again.